What's up, YouTube? T Movies here with Frozen 2 opening Friday. Since it returns the voice of Kristen Bell back as Anna, I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Kristen Bell projects because she has she has an interesting TV credit. So I'm gonna talk about her mainly a little bit of her TV credit. But she has a pretty good film resume as well. I mean, I've always adored Kristen Bell. You know, she really came from TV, and she's obviously since Veronica Mars ended and all, she's been in some pretty interesting stuff. Like she has a Good Place on NBC, which is coming to an end. And not to mention, she also has that new Disney Plus show on Coach. Still haven't checked it out. I kind of want to give that one shot. But anyway, with that being said, here's my 10 favorite Kristen Bell projects. Alright. Coming in at number 10, it is The Lifeguard. Now, this is actually not all that bad of a film. I mean, there are critics, like the movie does not have a great score on Rotten Tomatoes. But it's not that... I actually saw this movie one time. I can't remember where. I think probably could have been online somewhere else. But anyway, The Lifeguard... It stars Kristen Bell as this melancholic young woman named Lee, who ends up getting a she was like a valedictorian, and she really struggles to make it big as a reporter in New York City, and so she ends up returning to her childhood home, where she ends up taking becoming a lifeguard position. But in this, she ends up being romantically involved with this young teen, played by David Lambert, who of course played Brandon Foster on the hit show The Fosters. Now, Kristen Bell, I thought she was great in this. The chemistry between her and Lambert was a little weird, but I thought their chemistry was okay. You also had Meryl Streep's daughter, Mamie Gummer was in this, Martin Starr, Joshua Hart, some pretty good cast members. Belle I thought she really shined in this film. I mean, it's not that great of a film, but it's pretty decent, and Kristen Bell really was great. If you guys haven't seen The Lifeguard, I'd say give it a shot. Alright, coming in at number 9, it is the film You Again, which is directed by Andy Fickman, who just directed that Playing with Fire movie that just got released. And in it, Kristen Bell plays this woman named Marnie, who is very horrified when she learns that her brother's fiance is her arch nemesis Joanna, that she knew since her teen years. And her nemesis played by this actress named Odette Annabelle. I thought she was really great in this. Then you also got Jamie Lee Curtis as Belle's mother, with Sigourney Weaver, who plays Joanna's aunt, who was also a high school rival of Jamie Lee Curtis's character, which explains why it's called You Again. Now, this movie also didn't get great reviews, but I thought it was pretty funny, charming. Betty White stole loads of scenes. It was pretty cool seeing Betty White. I mean, she actually played the mother of Jamie Lee Curtis, which I thought that was pretty cool to watch. You also had Kristen Chenoweth, Victor Garber. You even had funny cameos by Cloris Leachman and Dwayne Johnson. Some really interesting cast members was in this. I mean, if you guys haven't seen You Again, it's a really funny, charming little comedy. I mean, it's a comedy about rivalry. It's really decent. If you guys haven't checked it out, and not to mention, you'll have that "We Are the Champions" song stuck in your head if you watch this movie. Alright, coming in at number 8, it is Fanboys. Now, the plot is pretty interesting. It's about these three guys who decides to reunite with one of their other friends, Linus, played by Christopher Marquette, who is dying of cancer. So So Linus's buddies, Eric, played by Sam Huntington, Hutch, played by Dan Foger, and Jay Baruchel, decide to take a trip. They're actually like very big, diehard Star Wars fans, and so they decide to cross the globe, early wing the release of the Phantom Menace, and Fanboys is hilarious, and Kristen Bell, she plays this character named Zoe, who's actually also a very interesting nerd. I mean, and one of the one lead characters also is man with her. Like they kind of have a bit of a crush on her. And Kristen Bell even had like a scene where she was wearing Princess Leia's gold bikini, which I thought was, I mean, Kristen Bell. Yeah, that scene was awesome there. And it has some interesting cast members. Like it's directed by Kyle Newman, who's from what I've seen and heard, he's a big Star Wars guy. So yeah, Kyle Newman did a cool job of directing this. And you also got people like William Shatner, Seth Rogen, Kevin Smith, Carrie Fisher, Billy D. Williams. You even had Darth Maul himself, Ray Park was in this. You had lots of people from Star Wars and Star Trek fame was in this. I mean, William Shatner even had a funny cameo. Yeah, Fanboys is a really funny road trip. It's a film about I guess in a way you could call it like a movie version of The Big Bang Theory. Like this is literally what like The Big Bang Theory would look like if it was a movie instead of a TV show. That's why it was what Fanboys was. Granted, the show came out like I believe it got released a year before Big Bang Theory, but still. Anyway, yeah, Fanboys is a really underrated gem. Like if you guys never really got a chance to check out Fanboys yet, definitely go give Fanboys a good shot. I mean, it's really funny. What? Alright. Coming in at number 7, it is a film called Hit and Run. Now, this film stars and is directed by Dax Shepard, who is married to Kristen Bell, so that's always a given. I mean, the best, Dax Shepard's been in some interesting roles where you talk about Parenthood. He also has a new show on ABC and all. He also did Chips. I mean, he has some interesting roles. But I say his best role is being married to Kristen Bell. I mean, he is one lucky dude. Anyway, in it, Dax Shepard plays this nice guy named Charlie Bronson, who's this like nice guy with a very shady past as a getaway driver. And so like he ends up breaking out of witness protection program in like a backwater California town to drive his girlfriend named Annie, played by Kristen Bell, to LA for a important job interview. And the pair's road trip ends up taking a awkward and dangerous turn when they end up finding that this federal agent played by Tom Arnold and this monster played by Bradley Cooper. They ended up testifying. I guess are both trying to hunt them down. It has some interesting cast members. Like you also had Kristen Chenoweth, David Koechner, Smallville dude Michael Rosenbaum, Jason Bateman was in this. This movie is really hilarious, fun, entertaining. Dax Shepard I thought was pretty great in this. Like I really quite like Bradley Cooper's part in this. He was really hilarious in this movie. Yeah, Hit and Run is a really funny gem. If you guys ever seen it, definitely go give Hit and Run a shot. Alright, coming in at number 6, it is The Boss. Now, it stars Melissa McCartney as this wealthy CEO woman named Michelle Darnell, who always who ends up getting busted for insider trading and sent to federal prison. And so, like, after leaving jail, Darnell ends up finding herself broke, homeless, and she's also very hated. But she ends up tracking down her former assistant named Claire, played by Belle, who's like who's really the only person who was actually willing to help her. And so, in order for so Michelle decides to find a way to to get back on her feet and make some dough, and she decides to start up a brownie empire. And it's a really the boss is hilarious. I mean, Kristen Bell plays the mother of the daughter who's selling the brownies. Ella Anderson plays the daughter. I thought she was pretty great. It's directed by Ben Falcone, who's McCartney's husband. I thought he did a pretty decent job. This is actually maybe my favorite movie. Like, Melissa McCartney and Ben Falcone have worked together 3 times with Tammy, The Boss, and Life of the Party. The Boss is probably my favorite collaboration of between the two. I really quite like Ben Falcone directing this film. And McCartney was hilarious. She was a little bit not well liked. I mean, she was kind of a despicable character at times. But I thought McCartney played that role really well. And you even had Kathy Bates was in this. Yeah, I really got a kick out of The Boss. And like the on-screen chemistry between McCartney and Bell was pretty decent. I like the back and forth scenes between the two. I mean, yeah, The Boss is a really hilarious one. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely go check that one out. Alright, Peter Dinklage was good in that too. Alright, coming in at number 5, it is the Veronica Mars TV show. Now, to be honest, it's actually the only TV show on this list. I mean, Kristen Bell's done other TV shows like Good Place is okay, but it's not really my favorite. House of Lies with Don Cheadle was decent. Gossip Girl was good, but she was only like a narrator on that, so I'm not really counting that as her show. But Veronica Mars, a TV show, I was a little way too late for the party for. But I really got kicked out of Veronica Mars. It's a pretty decent show. I mean, you got Kristen Bell as he used to be like one of the popular girls with like cool friends and a jock boyfriend, and she ends up becoming like a private investigator, and she tries to help her father dig into the lives of the rich and famous. And you had Jason Doring who plays her boyfriend in this. You also had Enrico Calatoni, who plays her dad. Ryan Hansen as the character of Dick was great. You even had some interesting cameos by Tessa Thompson was even in this. Like before she became very popular today, she appeared on Veronica Mars. Veronica Mars was a really nice, clever. It was like a very different private detective. I mean, I guess you could say it was like a female version of Magna P.I. in a way. And Kristen Bell, she really shined as Veronica Mars. I really thought she nailed it as that role. I mean, if you guys never really check out the Veronica Mars TV show, give it a go. Now, they also did a revival on Hulu, which I still haven't seen. I've been wanting to check that out, but never really had a chance to. I'll probably give that a shot whenever I get a chance to. But the show was still pretty decent. Alright, coming in at number 4, it is Bad Moms. Now, this stars Mila Kunis, Kathryn Hahn, and Kristen Bell as these 3 women who are like struggling to keep up with their roles as mothers. You got Mila Kunis' Amy character who discovers that her husband is cheating on her, while Kathryn Hahn's character Carla is a single mother who has like a hands-off approach of dealing with her kids and all. And Kiki is just a staying-at-home mom who's like bonding with all the responsibilities and all. And I really quite like the chemistry between Kunis, Hahn, and Bell. They also did Bad Moms Christmas, which I really got a kick out of too. And Bad Moms Christmas also had Cheryl Hans as Kristen Bell's mom, which I thought was pretty cool to watch. Yeah, Bad Moms was really, it's very funny, very raunchy. Yeah, if you've never seen Bad Moms or the sequel, go check the sequels out. The sequel and this out. They're both really funny. And I mean, it's like Bad Santa, but with moms instead of Santa Claus, you know? Alright. Coming in at number 3, it is Frozen. Now, obviously, the sequel comes out this week. Frozen, I really love Frozen. You know, you had, it was a surprise, by the way. I really didn't expect you to like this movie as much as I did. I mean, it was Disney, so I probably would have still liked it and all. So I wasn't really surprised I liked it. But I did not expect you to love Frozen as much as I did. I thought it was really clever. Great music. Kristen Bell as Anna was great. Adina Menzel as Elsa was decent. Now, Kristen Bell's done other voice work as well. I mean, Zootopia and all. But Frozen is is a magnificent movie, and cannot wait to hear Kristen Bell back as Anna once again for the sequel. Because I think the sequel looks great, so cannot wait to check that one out. But if you guys haven't seen Frozen, I think give it a go. I know it's like the cool thing to hate on Frozen and all that, but I don't care what anyone says. Frozen is a really magnificent movie. Oh, and not to mention you had Josh Gad as Olaf. That's a cool character. All right, coming in at number 2. Now I added the TV show on this list, but the movie is actually really good. But so number 2 is going to be Veronica Mars, the movie. Which this was an interesting thing right here, because the Veronica Mars movie was actually made by fans. Because the show creator Rob Thomas, I think his name is, he actually crowdfunded this. He figures that Veronica Mars was such a big hit show, so he was like, can't remember where he got onto, but it was of course the hey, what's that crowdfunding site? I think maybe it could have been crowdfundme, or I know it was some sort of crowdfunding site. But he was able to get this movie made by the fans, which I still found it to be dumb because the movie did not do so well at all. So it's kind of the fans' monies that got lost. So I kind of found that should be a little dumb right there. I'm glad the movie was made. Don't get me wrong, but I did not use any money to fund this. But that being said, I really quite like the Veronica Mars movie. It was pretty cool seeing Veronica Mars on the big screen. Kristen Bell, she was once again great. You even had Kristen Ritter back. Lots of the, you had some of the original TV, like the original Veronica Mars TV actors in this. Then you also had some other people who weren't on the Veronica Mars show appearing in this. So that was pretty cool to watch. I mean, the Veronica Mars movie was. To be honest, I probably prefer it over the TV show. The Veronica Mars movie was that good. Had some interesting twists and turns. Really awesome film. I mean, I'm disappointed they didn't do a sequel. Cause I'm disappointed that the movie flopped. Because I would love to have seen a sequel. But it was still a pretty decent film. And if you guys haven't seen the Veronica Mars movie, I'll say give it a go. Alright. Coming in at number 1, it is my favorite Kristen Bell project of all time is obviously Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I mean, Kristen Bell had a great career before this film. I mean, Veronica Mars was big. But lots of people will actually tell you that Forgetting Sarah Marshall is a film that actually made them become a fan of Kristen Bell. And I can see why. Kristen Bell, she was great at this. I mean, you have Jason Segel, who plays the struggling musician, Peter Brenner, who is the better known as the boyfriend of TV star Sarah Marshall, played by Bell. And so Marshall ends up dumping him, and so Peter feels lost and alone, and so he makes a last ditch bid to get over by going to Hawaii, and there he ends up encountering her with her new boyfriend, played by Russell Brand. And of course, the Brand's character is I don't remember the actual name. Adonis Snow, who of course got a spin-off 2 years later with Gowns the Great. Now, Forgetting Sarah Marshall was directed by Nicholas Stoller. You also had Mila Kunis was also in this, so Bad Miles was a little bit of a Sarah Marshall reunion. Forgetting Sarah Marshall is a hilarious film. I mean, it's a nice rom-com, great performances by Segel. I could have done without seeing Segel's junk, though. I mean, every time I watch this movie, I always cover my eyes with that scene. I mean, Segel, really, man? You could have just, I don't know, that scene was really weird. I couldn't even watch How I Met Your Mother the same way after seeing that scene. But anyway, so Kristen Bell was I thought she was cute, charming in this. Her like on-screen chemistry with Russell Brand was great. Yeah, Forgetting Sarah Marshall is a really funny rom-com. If you guys never seen it, go give it a shot. And Kristen Bell actually ended up reprising her role for like a brief second in Get 'Em to the Greek, which I thought was pretty cool. I quite like Get 'Em to the Greek too. It's not as good as Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but that movie was pretty decent. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10, The Lifeguard. 9, You Again. 8, Fanboy. 7, Hit and Run. 6, The Boss. 5, the Veronica Mars TV show. 4, Bad Moms. 3, Frozen. 2, the Veronica Mars movie. And 1, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Now, she's done loads of other stuff over the years. Let me pull up her credit list. She had a voice work in Zootopia. I thought that was pretty cool to hear. She was in Burlesque, Couples Retreat. She was in Dax Shepard's other movie, Chips. She was in that horrible Josh Duhamel, Danny DeVito film, When in Rome. That movie stunk. She reprised her role as Anna in Ralph Breaks the Internet last year. She was in that Netflix movie, Like Father, movie 43. She was in that movie, Pootie Tang, Stuck in Love, Scream 4, Pulse, Astro Boy, Big Miracle. She had a part in Teen Titans Go to the Movie, Serious Moonlight with Meg Ryan and Adam Brody, Some Girls, Safety Not Guaranteed. The list goes on and on. She has some. Oh, not to mention her TV credits also includes Good Place, House of Lies. So she has some interesting TV credits. She back in her credits too. So, but anyway, let me lead you guys. What are some of your favorite Kristen Bell projects? Whether it's her your favorite movies of her or her or any like TV shows she's been in. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here's T Movie signing off.